NFL Snapwire here, let's dive in. For the Miami Dolphins, the offseason just got a lot more interesting, and not necessarily in a good way. Mike Mcdaniel, the head coach who brought hope and excitement to South Florida, has officially been shown the door. The Dolphins fired Mike Mcdaniel, per sources, NFL insider Tom Pelissero reported. This news has rippled across the league. Mcdaniel, just 37 years old, had become a symbol of the Dolphins' offensive creativity. Under his leadership, Miami reached the playoffs twice in 4 seasons, a feat that gave fans hope for sustained success. Yet, despite flashes of brilliance, consistent results never materialized. Ultimately, the organization decided it was time to move on. When McDaniel took over in 2022, expectations were high. He inherited a roster brimming with talent, including quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, and promised a modern, fast-paced offense reminiscent of the best schemes in the NFL. His first season had its ups and downs, but by 2023, he led the Dolphins to an 11-6 record and a playoff berth. The excitement around Miami football had returned, and McDaniel was hailed as a young offensive mastermind. Despite the promise, the postseason told a different story. Miami struggled to advance, falling short against more battle-tested teams. Critics began to question whether McDaniel's offensive wizardry could translate into sustained playoff success. By 2025, the Dolphins were hovering around mediocrity, and tensions began to rise between the coaching staff and front office. In 2024, Miami showed their faith in McDaniel by signing him to a 4-year extension, locking him in through 2028. Reports indicate his annual salary ranged between $3.5 million and $4.5 million, making him one of the higher-paid young coaches in the NFL. Yet, even with the extension, the Dolphins' leadership ultimately concluded that a new direction was necessary. When an NFL coach is let go under contract, the financial fallout can be significant. McDaniel's deal likely includes guaranteed money, which means the Dolphins are still on the hook for portions of his salary even after the termination. While the exact figures have not been disclosed, sources familiar with the contract suggest McDaniel could be owed anywhere from $8 million to $12 million over the remaining years of his deal. This includes base salary, bonuses, and other contractual guarantees. The Dolphins' decision reflects a broader trend in the league. Teams are willing to absorb financial penalties to accelerate change. Coaches like McDaniel, who show early promise but fail to deliver consistent postseason success, often face the harsh reality that enthusiasm and creativity only go so far in a results-driven league. The firing opens the door to a new era in Miami. With McDaniel gone, the Dolphins now face the challenge of finding a head coach who can combine innovation with proven playoff experience. Rumors have already swirled around several candidates, including seasoned offensive minds and defensive specialists capable of bringing balance to the roster. Front office executives will need to weigh their options carefully. Do they bring in a veteran presence who can stabilize the team, or take another calculated risk on a younger coach with a high ceiling? History shows both approaches have their merits, but Miami's recent track record suggests patience may not be a luxury they can afford. Of course, coaching changes impact more than just the front office. Players must adjust to new schemes, new terminology, and often new cultures in the locker room. For quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, the change could be significant. McDaniel's offense emphasized quick reads, motion, and creative play designs, and a new coach could either simplify or completely overhaul the system. Veterans like Tyreek Hill and Xavier Howard may feel the impact immediately, while younger players will have to adapt quickly to avoid being left behind. Off-season workouts, minicamps, and training sessions will take on even greater importance as the new regime looks to establish its philosophy from day one. Miami isn't alone in this type of move. The NFL has seen a wave of coaching turnover in recent years, with franchises willing to pay big buyouts to reset the trajectory of their teams. From young innovators who couldn't translate regular season success into playoff victories to seasoned veterans whose systems became outdated, the pattern is clear. Success in the NFL is measured by postseason performance. McDaniel's firing underscores the harsh reality for coaches in the league. Creativity and charisma can earn accolades, but in the end, wins, and particularly playoff wins, determine job security. Mike McDaniel's time with the Dolphins was marked by flashes of brilliance, innovative offensive schemes, and the hope of a franchise finally turning a corner. But hope alone isn't enough in professional football. Miami's decision to part ways with McDaniel reflects a commitment to results and a willingness to make tough choices in pursuit of sustained success. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on Miami's front office and their next hire. Will they find the right balance of experience and innovation? Or will another gamble on youth and creativity bring them back to square one? One thing is certain, the Dolphins are ready to turn the page, and the NFL world will be watching closely. Stay tuned to NFL Snapwire for updates on McDaniel's contract, potential replacements, and everything shaping the future of Miami Dolphins football.